Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. In today's video, I'm doing a little craft room tour, and it is the craft room in which I store my supplies, not my working craft room. But before we start, I want to thank these people for their comments on my last video. Melissa, she is from South Australia. This is somebody new. I want to give a special shout out to Teresa Conway Hayes. She sent me some happy mail, but it went to my old address in Gilbert, Arizona. And I'm hoping that the person that lives at my old address wrote on it that I no longer live there and will ship it back to Teresa. But thank you, Teresa, for that lovely, happy mail. I'm sick that I'm not able to get it and that you'd spent the time to send it to me. Sandy from Kentucky Crafter, she wanted to know how I use my gold paint, and I'm going to show that in an upcoming video. But let's get started on the craft room reorganization video. So this is my room now, and what I'm finding is when I come in here, I'm constantly moving boxes around to try to find things. A lot of them are stacked up on each other. I tried to get it organized, like this is my fabric and thread area, but then I also have threads here. On this shelf has lace, but it also has some of my Etsy things. This shelf over here, oh, there's my sweet Fiona with her ball. Hey, Fiona. Hi, baby girl. Hi, sweet girl. This area is my antique books, and you can see it's a mess. And then I've got things hanging on the wall, fabrics. This is some of my Etsy supplies that I have for sale. But what started this is this closet. And let me tell you about this closet. So as you look in it, you can see I have a lot of empty space. I have tubs on top of each other. I have linens hanging up. There's a lot of empty space up here. And I thought to myself, I could do better with this area. So I'm going to show you what I've done. I've ordered bookcases to go up above there that will fit there. So I will have more shelving up there. Now, yes, I am going to have to use a little step ladder to get up there to put things up there. I've also ordered a hanging canvas shoe organizer that's 12 inches by 12 inches, and it has 10 different layers to it that I'll be able to put here. And then my file cabinet with my important papers, that needs to be moved somewhere else. So anyway, I'm going to show you as time goes on. Look I've got stuff hanging on the wall, different fabrics. It's a mess. It needs to be revamped. So let's get going on that. Okay, now this is the reveal, and I'm extremely pleased with it. So as I enter the room, you can see it's definitely a lot more organized. And I'm just going to turn you around, and I'm going to show you each little area and things that I did to change it up. So first off, when I walk into the door, I have this hanging canvas over the door thing, and in it has a lot of the things that I have for sale in my Etsy store. So there's all my rice papers. Then I have Bible book pages, French magazine folios, a lot of my Italian packs. And I love how they are right there, easy for me to see. And what I do is I write on little Post-it notes. Let me just go up there. These are the Bible book pages. I have 10 available. And as I pull them off, as they are being sold, I will scratch off the 10, and then I know I will have 9 available. You guys hear Miss Fiona in the background. She's letting me know she's here. And then I have this area here. Now up at the top there, that was my very first thing that I ever quilted. That's the thing that got me started in quilting. Now it's been a long time since I've quilted, and because it just takes a long time. And then hanging from, I'm going to show you, hanging from the shelf are some, again, things in my Etsy store. They are fuzzy, it's called fuzzy cotton tape. They are great for cutting up and layer in layers for either slow stitching or tabs on your journals. I've got various colors there. Again, this is pretty much my Etsy store area. Everything up in there I have for sale. Again, some more of that fuzzy cotton tape. This was from Stamp and Storage. I've had it forever. Right now there are some empty spots, but there's my French laundry labels. I have some areas that have sequins in them. I did have some inks. Yeah, I did have some Stampin' Up, those small little ink pads there. These are my refills of my Copic markers. This is a cute little antique. This is ceramic here. Boy, that little girl is just making sure that I know she's here. Fiona, hey, I know you're here. Let's go around. Hey, little girl. Hey, do I need to put you in a kennel while I do this? I think I might need to. Come on, let's go take a little nap, little girl. Okay? So like I said, I had bought this at an antique store, and right now there's nothing in it, but it's kind of cute. This is just a little empty box. In here is my French journal that I have for sale, some Italian book pages for sale. This is everything that I bought while I was in Italy, different fabrics and stuff. Here's some things down here that I still need to list. And this is all my cello bags for shipping. And then here, and this is all kinds of different plastic envelopes to put things in, and different kinds of bags, zipper bags. I put all my digitals in those kind of bags there and then label them. And then this is bubble wrap, Tyvek, things like that, cello bags, and then other baggies there. Then as we move over here, this is called a scrap rack. I used this a lot when I was card making, and it's got all kinds of things in it, charms, buttons, doodads, everything. They're all labeled, and sequins and glue dots and just everything. And I do occasionally still pull stuff out of here and use it in my journal making. I can't even remember what's in this drawer. Oh, I need to put those up. These are correspondence. These are all cards that I had gotten from other people. So I'm going to put them up there and up there too. So I need to do that. Then this is another sewing, what's that called? Pin cushion and what have you. So, I'm glad I saved that for a minute there. I had thought I had thrown it all away. And then in this cabinet is all my different glues, my 3-in-1 glue, my Fabri-Tac, different paints, extra baby wipes, alcohol, and just various things there. Not too exciting. Then this is where all my fabric was, but I did change it up. That piece right there is an antique bonnet from a little girl. Isn't that cute? And of course I have a picture or a little statue of Christ there. And then next to it is something that my grandson gave me. It's from, I think it's from Star Wars or something. And then that's something that my nurse friends gave me when I retired. I love that. By touching so many lives, you have changed the world. And it's got a heart and a stethoscope. Then next to that is a cross stitch that my sister Sherry made for me. A sister is a forever friend. And then that other little thing is, again, when I was in my card making days, that's a little business card thing that I made. Then I've labeled all of these boxes. I have different colors of flowers, moss, chipboard, wood, frames. And then the next shelf down is cheesecloth, white and ivory petals, action wobbles. These were, again, card making days things. My doilies, different kind of doilies. My glue gun, fusing thing, all kinds of different colors of pens. And then the next shelf down is colored pencils, Stampin' Up boxes, coffin boxes, gold boxes. Those were, again, Stampin' Up things there. This is a snap tool thing for putting stamps on stuff. Some extra cards and what have you that I actually need to get rid of. Then this is things that I'm going to put in a nursing journal. I need to make myself a nursing journal of my career, and it's got a lot of that stuff in there. This is, again, nursing things. I am working on a digital kit of nursing things to, so you could make a journal for a fellow nurse. I have boxes, my Edith Holden, Fairy, and rice paper. Then one of these days, I'm going to make a dragon journal, and then that has everything to do with women. Then I have my casting molds, my resin, and then air dry clay. And then this has all kinds of different bags in it, every size of bag and color that you'd almost need or want. And then as I pan over to the left, finally you can actually see my sewing area. So I have a Bernina, and I bought that Bernina back when I was a quilter, and now I use it for, well, I do sew a little bit of, I just did a table runner for my daughter for Christmas, but mostly I sew paper. And people that are quilters, they would be appalled that I'm using a Bernina machine to sew paper. I know, it's a crime. But at least I have plenty of room now to sew. And then just underneath there's my router for my internet and a paper shredder. This little cart here right now, I have everything in it that for organizing. You know, I kind of have a little bit of OCD. I love to organize. And so this has things, for instance, like when I get different ribbons and threads, things to organize it on. Those, you've seen me make the ephemera books to hold ephemera. Those are the plastic sleeves for that. Then I have empty containers and just various things there. And look at this. This is where I will put extra threads as I get them. I can't wait when I go to Australia. Rachel has told me she's going to take me to the sewing basket. So I'm sure I'll be getting threads from there. Then as I pan back, I have this whole area. It is an IKEA set of 3 different bookshelves. And on the right-hand side here, this is all Christmas. So to the right up there, that's Christmas napkins. And then these are all of my December daily journals over the years, with the exception of this. You've seen me before. This is, again, when I was making cards and stuff. It's a little box that you can put stuff in, but I made it like a Christmas house. And so then, like I said, this was this year's December daily. That was last year's, the year before, and I think the year before that. Then I have Christmas ephemera that's already made for next year. My Christmas paper, what's it called? Scrapbooking paper. And then my Christmas Florentine paper. And then this is a Tim Holtz. This box is the same as this. I had made that into a little journal in there, and I've made this one, so I need to just make a journal for it. And then the next shelf down is Christmas envelopes, paper bags, snow globes. Again, some of this stuff is Stampin' Up. Snow globes, bells, charms, and beads, all Christmas related. This is a journal that I made that I will sell next year. This is kind of a cool. I'm going to make a journal to fit in here. It is actually a lunch pail. And so a journal will go in there next year at some point. And then I think I showed you a lot of these. These are the ephemera books that have all my Christmas ephemera in them. And then just some plastic envelopes with Christmas papers, red paper, green paper scraps, doilies, double-sided journal pages. Again, some more ephemera holders here, some cross-stitching that I need to finish. And then the next row down, here is my Christmas ribbon. These are wine holders, and so they were perfect. That's a good organizing tip for you guys. Plastic wine holders for ribbon. And then the next shelf down is, these are my Boys Town cards. I did a video where I showed making ephemera using those. So these are extra ones. This has all of my Christmas fabric in it. And then I've made ornaments every year for my grandchildren. So there's extra ones there. Then over there in that right-hand corner is my chipboard and things for making journals. This is a nice little canvas bag for taking on retreats and what have you. And then just some more, again, storage supplies there. As we go to the bottom, we'll come up. So for my Copic markers, I used to keep them there in those bags. Then I have a container for doilies, white lace. This is middle area is all my laces. So ivory lace, I have handkerchiefs, my appliques there, crinkled seam binding, gold lace, all of my sari silks. This is a project that I'm working on right now. I will show you it when it's done. It was the 52 tag challenge by Ann Brooke, and I'm making a book to fit those in. Then white lace, some of the Steph Francis fuzzy cotton tape, embroideries, again, blue lace, yellow lace, brown lace, silver lace, purple lace, orange and peach lace, green lace, black lace, red lace, pink lace, and then trims from India. Back up to the top, this one is tissue paper, fall things, molds for resin and for clay, napkins that are not Christmas napkins, and then all my watercolors and brushes and what have you. Then this next area is all of my books, and I'm so happy with this area. Oh, finally, each book has its own little space, and I will be able to get to them quickly. Look at this massive dictionary I bought at an estate sale. I think I paid $8 for that thing. Again, who knows what I'm going to do with it. It's massive. These are all covers of either books or journals that I will use to make a journal. Just all kinds, as I've gutted out books, different ones. I thought I wanted to make a journal to fit in here one of these days. So I've saved this box. And get it back in here. And this is going to be a fun journal to make. It's going to be heavy though, but one of these days I'm going to do that. So those are all my covers. This is all of my English books here, written in English, and dictionaries. Some of the spines that when I tore books apart, I will use those. But some of these I will use as altered books, some for book pages, and then some are antique books. So I will use those. Then these are all medical books, vintage or old books, except for that one. But I use these when I'm making nursing journals. And I used these laminated things, and then I wrote on them, so like all of this is French books, okay? And then here's all my religious books, all of my Bibles, okay? I've got German Bibles, Swedish, French, Italian, an Arabic, Book of Mormon, just various religions. And then up here, this is all of my music paper right in there. These are all my German books right in here. Asian books. And then in this stack here is, again, more Italian papers that I bought in Italy. These are all ledgers. And I'm going to put together some ledger packs to sell in my Etsy store. But these are all those Italian ledgers that I bought in Italy. And then it's just got extra papers up here of, you know, some paper that I bought in Egypt. And then that's a big, huge Bible there that I took apart. And then this is a ledger here. So I'm going to plan on getting those put together. And then over here, these are all just scraps of fabric. And I need to kind of, I think, organize this a little bit better. Ivory, white, mesh and tulle, brown. And then I have on the door another one of those closet hangers. And it has different kinds of, you know, sizes of bags and cello bags and things like that. And then as you close the closet door, I have hanging there a bunch of different ribbons. I'm sure I told you once before, there was a ribbon store going out of business in Mesa, Arizona, and you could go into the store and fill up a basket as jam-packed as you could with ribbon, and it was only $5. Now this area, Pride and Joy, oh, so much better. Look at it. Oh, look at how much room I have. Okay, this is pretty much stamping things. Up at the top left, 65-pound weight copy paper, very vanilla copy paper. My 110-pound copy cardstock, personal stationery, organizing Copic markers, templates for cards, all my different colored, solid colored cardstock here, different papers and what have you, camera, video equipment. And then across here, I have a video where I talk about using, what is that program? It's got an elephant on the front. I'll link it. I'll write it when I edit this video. I'll write that there. But I can go and type in that I want a butterfly image, a stamp image, and the program that I have will show exactly how many stamps or dies that I have with butterflies. And I have it categorized with everything. So this is like 1 through 50, then 51 through, I think it'd be 39, then 140. They're all numbered, so I can just go right to that bin and pull out what I need. Then up above there is plain envelopes, cardstock, more envelopes, wood mount stamps, my wood punch board. Very top, that Coke box is what I use to spray things in to keep it from going everywhere. Then there's some foam way up there. when I make those journals that hold a glass bottle, those are a bunch of those, a message in a bottle, handmade cards. And then this again is 12 by 12 paper of, hearts, Valentine's, Halloween, some solid colors. These are all my really big papers. I think, what are they, 17 inches by I don't know what, but, different cardstock when I make my ephemera holders and what have you, and then wrapping paper. And then I've got some canvas here, all my embossing folders, and again, they're all in that program to where I can put in floral, and all my embossing folders will come up, and I can just go right to that number and know what it is. Then down below, again, more stamps from when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And again, they're all labeled like S81. Okay. If I go to, let's say this one, S84, in that program, I put in vases. And so if I type in that program a vase, it will show me that S84 is where a vase is. Or if I come over here to an ornament, Christmas ornament, I would type in Christmas ornament or bubbles, and it will tell me S144. So it's so helpful, because when I want a specific item to either stamp, it's very easy to go through, and I don't have to keep going through everything to find what I need. So that helped that. I don't use a lot of stamps anymore. The ones I do use are the vintage ones, and they are in my working craft room. This is my storage craft room. I'm fortunate enough to just live with my son. It's a 3-bedroom home. So one of the empty bedrooms is this room, and I just have it for storage stuff. Then I have my working craft room. Then over here, I think we got all that. That's that file cabinet that I have that have all my important papers. I have a Big Shot die cutting machine, both the real big one and then the regular size one. I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to work in California, so I had an apartment there. So I had double of everything. So that's why I have so many die cutting machines. This was that canvas thing. I think it's 12 by 12 that I told you that I had ordered off of Home Depot. But in this is curtains and lace and fabric that I bought that I can tear up and use in journals. And so it has 10 spots for that, including my batting for quilts. And then this metal shoe rack area is piano paper, other papers, and then wrapping papers. Down there is an extra camera holder I bought a different camera holder that suspends from the ceiling. It's much better. And this turquoise case is a lot of sewing stuff. That's a quilt that's cut up and just needs to be sewed. Yeah, one of these days. For when I do coffee staining paper, here's some mats that I use to embellish and put images on it. This is a cross stitch. Let me come up here. This is a cross stitch that I'm not completely done with. I started this. It's a little girl's blanket. My daughter is 32. Yeah, it's not finished. I've been working on it for 30-some odd years. Here is a Christmas quilted tree skirt. Again, need to finish it. And then just some more fabrics back there. So this is a much better organized area, and I was able to have a lot more space. my ironing board in the corner there, and then my boards for like chipboard kind of a stuff, my cutting mats, and my ruler for when I was a quilt maker. Then, as we step out of that closet area, this was where that bookshelf was, where I had all my books. And I measured it and I realized I had a lot more room. So I had this metal thing in my garage, and it had all kinds of stuff on it that was, canned goods and what have you. So this is all my sewing now. Now, as we go at the bottom, those are some, I think they were Tiffany something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They have larger papers and stuff like that. Then over here, these are all my quilting books and stitching books, my silk ribbon there, my cover for my sewing machine, a small little crafting iron, different headlights for close work sewing, my iron back there, and then I love my fabric. Look at how organized that is. I'm so excited about this. So I bought these plastic containers at Walmart. And if you take the comic book covers, cut them in half, then they fit perfectly in here and you're able to wrap your fabric around it. So I have all my fabrics, color coded. This is all kind of a journal making, like Kathy Holden and Tim Holtz fabric, and then what have you there. This has some my threads here. My sister gave me all of these threads, and it's in a nice little container. I have hanging from here, these are all fabric scissors, some of my hoops for embroidery. Again, another embroidery hoop here. Here are my red fabrics, my coffee stained and ivory fabrics, and then these are all fabrics that were too big to fit in these containers, and I've wrapped them around larger cards, and they're just put there. I have wool here, some of my more specialty fabric. This is some of the fabric that I got when I was in Italy. This is some linen. One of these days, I'm going to sew some handkerchiefs for my grandchildren to either have for my two grandsons, for their wives to carry at their wedding, or my granddaughter to have a handkerchief. And so I'm going to embroidery it all in white things. This is some of just twines and stuff like that. Back here I have some templates of quilting stuff. This was the light here. And then the next shelf up is all of my threads. I have it kind of categorized, Steph Francis threads, wool threads, metallic threads, again, wool threads there. These are all those white threads that one of these days I'm going to make for my grandchildren. These are all ivory or crew threads. Again, all of my Steph Francis threads, and I wrap them around those cards. This is a pin cushion that I made. My girlfriend, Marilyn, gave me that little container, and I made it into a pin cushion. And then there's just all these dollar store containers here. They've got pins and needles and, doodads, and these are all of my different kind of needles and pins and what have you. Marking pins over here, my rotary cutter. And there. These are all my sewing threads, and I think I showed you this. This is what I do. I buy a bobbin for each color of thread, and so when I wind a bobbin, I put it in a bag with the original thread, and then I don't have to keep changing. See if I can grab another one. Yeah. Oh no, that's something else. But anyway, each thread has its own bobbin. Quilt pieces for making journals, different colored floss. This is my floss container there. And then this is old, that I need to cut up, old flour sacks that I bought from Sacred Mementos, and I will do slow stitching on them. This is cross stitch here. Up there is sari silk yarn and different kind of silk threads, Steph Francis silk cocoons, mulberry bark and silk threads, just all my wool, extra floss, wool threads and yarn, and then specialty buttons. So that's my very nice, organized craft room storage area. And so now I need to start on the working craft room and get that a little bit more organized. Although that is pretty organized because I do spend the majority of my time in there. This was an area that you kind of threw things and what have you. But anyway, I will start working on the working area, and I'm not sure if I'm going to attach it to this video or do a separate video. But anyway, thanks you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.